What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Haven't really made a video this last week, or we posted a video this last week, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick little update because there's so many things going on, and so many, like, my attention is just in 10 different places, and there's not like a crazy video that I could do where we just get a lot of things done. So I figured I'd just give you guys a quick little update. The last video that we posted was the K-Series all-wheel drive Civic, and that was me taking this thing for a rip, and it spit a rod out of the front. So as you can see right here, we literally have the rod hanging out, and if you look at that, that is actually the bottom cap just came off. And if you can't see, you guys can't see at least, but on the top there is the rod bolt. The rod bolt just broke. So the rod bolts, I think it's K24. I had the rev limiter for the past, not past 2 years, but 2 years ago, for 2 years, I had the rev limiter at like 9,000. The last passes of that season 2 years ago, when I was at the track, it kept hitting the limiter in fourth going through the traps, or a little bit before the traps on the quarter-mile drag race. So I went ahead and I kept bumping up the limiter. So it went from like 9,000 to 92 to 94 to 96 was the hard cut. Soft cut was at 94. So it's a 24. I believe it has a 102 millimeter stroke, whereas a K20 has like a 80 some millimeter stroke, something like. Don't quote me on any of this stuff. I was just watching a Real Street Performance video of Jay building a 2.2 liter K-Series for TRC that revs to like 10,000 RPM. I think I over revved this thing. I stretched or stressed out the rod bolt, putting so much load, revving it that high, and I think that is exactly what happened. The tune was perfect. I was logging the time. 50% throttle, 20 pounds of boost. Air fuel was dead set, was dead on, and everything, it felt super smooth. And then all of a sudden, literally, rod bolts broke, and so that the rod came out of the bottom of it. So part of me driving that thing was because Chris Rednick was here. He drove it as a 500 horsepower single cam, so I wanted him to drive it as like the 800 horsepower K-Series all-wheel drive that it is now. He came out and he helped me promote my Civic giveaway, which just ended, and appreciate all of the entries and all of you guys for supporting that, and his audience as well. And in turn, I guess quick little update on that. We should know a winner within the next 7 to 10 days. We're not slanging like overnight waffles or anything like that. So it does take a little bit longer to actually send out the entries to our sweepstakes attorneys, them take care of everything all legit and fully legal. And again, this was the 12th giveaway we've done. While he was out here, we built a turbo K-Series, turbo B20 CRV. It was a car that I had for a long time. I initially bought it I was going to do a B-Series all-wheel drive on the yellow car, and then decided to do K, so I bought that as like a donor vehicle. It had this B20, which for some reason, everything looks good other than like one of the pistons is disconnected from the top of the... It's literally the piston. It's like the wrist pin just broke off, or the top of the piston broke off. It's a weird deal. I was looking up in the engine. All the pistons go up and down, but I did a compression test on it like 5 years ago when I first got it. And literally I rotated it around, and there was 3 pistons at the top, and I pushed one back down and it rotates fine. There's no metal in the oil, but that's besides the point. Rednick came out here. We built that B20 manual all-wheel drive CRV. We turboed it in a matter of basically 2.5 days. We drove it up Pikes Peak. And while he was here, I just really wanted to focus on him getting good videos and him having a good time, other than me trying to make a video about the same process. I just tried to kind of help him so that way he could get a good video. And I think it worked out really well. His audience was really stoked. I know a lot of you guys have went over and watched those videos. I had a blast with him out here. So that was really cool. That was a really cool collab. Underneath this cover right here, that is actually our next giveaway car, which should be starting within the next 2 weeks. So if you guys want to take a little guess, you guys probably know what it is if you've seen the background of any of the other videos. But the 7.3 Godzilla swapped Mustang, we honestly haven't even done anything with it. We were waiting on the ECU Master EMU Pro to come out, but there might be another kind of plug-and-play solution with a company that I've worked with previously that might go into that and just might almost be like a turnkey type of ECU. We're kind of waiting on that a little bit, and there's just been other things you know, that have taken a little bit more precedence. Obviously, I sold my white truck. We started working on the red truck. Currently, I have some parts and pieces for the red truck, and if you could see those wheels and tires right there. Those are the old ones, so we actually got some new wheels and tires for it, but that thing needs a little bit of updating too. So I got doors for it. So the back doors both have decent amount of damage on them. The one has like some shady bodywork, and then in the door jamb there's a ton of like rock chips, but it was a white door that they like did not prep or scuff properly. And so with that means that it's not like, in order to like paint that the way that I would be comfortable or, you know, satisfied with painting it, that means that we would have to kind of strip down that door, and I would rather start with a good door that doesn't have any major bodywork done to it, and that the way I could prep it how I'm comfortable with. So we have a door to replace the driver's side door, and another one to replace the passenger side door, because the passenger side door has that big, really big gash in it. So those doors are getting painted this week. I'm gonna paint match the front bumper. I'm gonna paint match the grill. We're gonna do some other stuff. But kind of I'm kind of in a weird pickle right now. I have so much stuff to do, and I don't even know where to start. The S14 is down. Obviously, there's no engine in it. We had that issue with the bearing material, so that engine is like torn apart right here and on the other side of the shop. We went to the banging gears, and then I was supposed to come back from banging gears. We were gonna pull the good engine out of my Supra, put the good engine in here, and then build the S14 engine with pistons, rods, and all that other stuff, billet main caps for the Supra. But then I went out to banging gears, and I blew up the engine that was in the Supra. So now I'm at this weird stage where I'm like, well, I technically have two 2JZ, GTE, VVTi blocks on the side. Like, why don't we just build them both, and we'll put a built motor in S14 and a built motor in the Supra as well. The 3UZ that came out of the S14, I'm probably just gonna sell that thing. I have some other K-Series, as you can see, 2 K-Series engines right here, which we were basically prepping and getting ready to do a twin engine Civic. So with the yellow car, it's basically an 850 car. With the cage that's in it, it would cert to an 850. With the engine, the tranny, all that other stuff, it's good to go 850s. But past that, once you try to go faster than an 850, you have to have a completely different cage. I think it's a 25.5 cage, which basically has a funny car hoop around the driver, which means that cage would have to come out of there and get completely redone anyhow. With that, trying to make over 1,000 horsepower reliably, then putting it down, you have to have billet transfer case, billet transmission, you know, all of those parts just get exponentially more expensive. And as of right now, I cannot justify those costs with just the content on the car. So I was really thinking, you know, I've had that car for a long time, and you know, it sat for 2 years, so I honestly didn't even really realize like how much fun it was, or like how it was. It was just one of those cars, I put it in the corner. So that's why I was just like, okay, it runs and drives, we'll sell it, and then we will build the twin engine car. Initially it was supposed to be that D16 EK hatch. We were gonna do the twin engine with that, and then I decided, I was like, that's too good of a car. It's together. It's a 99 2000 forged D16. Let's just keep it together, and I'll find a shell. So I actually ran across this shell. So this is, you guys actually haven't seen this other than in the background of the videos. This is a 96 shell. Somebody kind of, you know, drilled in, or they welded up some stuff in the engine bay. It has B series Hasport mounts. It has an SI subframe, SI knuckles, SI control arms. It has camber kits. It has a lot of things with it. It has Type R molding. It has like Type R headlights, 96 Type R headlights supposedly. I ended up buying this carbon fiber roof right here. It has OEM Type R wing, but this car is kind of at that gutted stage. So it was like, you know what, like instead of tearing apart a good car, we'll do the twin engine car, sell the yellow car, use all of the money from it to go into this, because this is a new project. It's obviously new, it's exciting. And I thought that was going to be, you know, we were going to start building this while we were doing the Civic giveaway, you know, to kind of, it just makes sense to, you know, build a car and give away a car, so that way you guys are excited that we're actually building a car for me. And, you know, something really cool and unique like a twin engine Civic, but you also have the chance to win the Civic, and that was the whole process. We got a little bit behind on the Supra for banging gears. We came back, we polished the car, we turboed it, did some other stuff. It just took a little bit longer than I thought, Also, Garrett was out of town for a little while, and so he wasn't able to put as much time in on that thing because I was going to kind of have him work on that while I was out of town. So just a lot of the cards haven't like lined up correctly for, you know, all of the ideas and plans. And obviously when you have so many cars and so many ideas and so many plans, it's easy for that stuff to get really messed up, you know. I mean, it just, one simple thing, you get pushed back a week and then all of a sudden something else happens, and then now all of a sudden you're a month behind on all these ideas and projects and plans. And then you take the car that you were supposed to be selling, you know, the yellow car, out for a rip, and then it throws a rod. So now we can't sell that yet or do anything. Or it's like, do we just abandon the twin engine Civic for now, and then we just revamp the yellow car? Because like I said, I forgot how much fun that car was. It absolutely rips, and I felt like I've never really given that car the full like chance it deserves. So do we rebuild it and sell it and continue with the twin engine Civic, or do we rebuild it and then we just start driving it, and then we save the twin engine Civic for the future? The twin engine Civic was the all-wheel drive Civic, I actually was getting ready to take it to a chassis certification at the local track and start going towards getting my NHRA license, because once you get over a certain mile an hour and a certain speed, you're supposed to have an NHRA license, which I do not have at this point. So it was at that point I needed to do that, and I'm really glad that it blew up here in front of the shop, other than on the track when I'm doing 150 miles an hour trying to get my license pass. So that leads us to another car that we have not really, we built and we didn't give it the time of day because of the timing, everything just didn't work out, which is the Fox Body Mustang. So if you did not watch this, we basically, this time last year, we decided we were going to do Rocky Mountain Race Week, and we had 3 weeks. And I had this Mustang, which was sitting out behind the other shop, and a Chevy Express 2500 van with a 4.8 4L or 4.8 LS and a 4L 80E. And I said, you know what, let's put these things together. So I got on the phone. We got some awesome sponsors with us. We got Garrett Turbos, the G42 1200, full Deechworks fuel system, BC Racing coilovers. What else do we do? We did a Texas Speed cam in it, and a Holley EFI Terminator X in it. So you can see it's got the Holley fuel rails, all the Terminator X stuff, which is basically plug and play. Full Deechworks fuel system right there. And this car is freaking awesome. We did a full 850 cage, and so this is a full TIG welded chromoly cage, and we literally built this car. It has a strange rear end in it, basically with disc brakes and the 35 spline axles and a spool. It's a pretty insane car, and the fact that we got it done and we didn't make it to race week, it just kind of, we lost all the momentum. Then it was just kind of like recovery mode, so we started working on other stuff. We started building the C10. That turned into a way bigger project than we could have ever imagined as far as paint and body work. We did a giveaway on that. We still worked on it for, I think it was almost 3 months, no, it was 2 months after the giveaway ended. We were still painting it and, restoring it essentially, because we weren't happy with the condition that it was in, and it snowballed. So lots of things over the last 2 years, between kind of getting priced out of the other shop with the new owners coming in, but not even being able to use the facility like we needed, with like car parking outside and parking behind the shop. They kind of priced us out of there. This shop popped up, and it was a great opportunity because it was almost twice the size as the other shop, which was in the same, actually a little bit cheaper than what they were going to rent it for us there. Plus this is twice the space, 5,000 square feet. Plus we have a 1/4 acre of fenced yard space here, whereas we had 0 yard space. They were going to charge us like $700 a month for like not even a 1/4 of an acre at the other shop. So this place just worked out really well. And the whole idea and plan when we first came out here was, this used to be a junkyard. Let's start a junkyard. Let's start, parting out F-250s and trucks and Evos and Corvettes and just Hondas and anything that we're into, anything that like will help us build a car, but then also we could part it out and like make money. And then we don't necessarily have to do like these back-to-back giveaways. Obviously some things have changed recently, so I'm not currently pursuing that plan, but I think if the right person wanted to do something like that with me, obviously I think it could be highly successful parting out cars with a YouTube channel, pointing people at the part out cars. I mean, it just makes sense. It's like, you know, taking a proven business model and throwing, you know, gasoline with a match on it, you know, is essentially what it is. So huge opportunity there, and I would definitely like to do that. And I am currently looking for another mechanic slash kind of paint body work, kind of tech guy, somebody to like sweep the floors and like prep an engine bay type of thing. So if you or somebody you know lives in, you know, Pueblo, Colorado Springs, you know, in southern Colorado, I don't want to move a guy with a wife and kids, and you know, he's the sole provider out here, and pay him $100,000 a year because I can't afford that. But if you or you know anybody who would be interested in joining the team, Garrett is actually going to be leaving, and he's moving out of state at the end of June. So we don't have very much time with him left here to work on certain stuff. So that's kind of a big deal, and that's kind of a big bummer, because we've been talking about working together working together for the past few years, and then it finally kind of lined up to where it made sense for me to bring him on full time. But then he's also kind of on his way out, because he's, you know, he obviously has had this move planned for, you know, I think like 6 months or a year. So obviously we have the dyno that we just picked up, and we moved into the shop. So I am currently looking for like a cheaper 4-post lift or a ramp solution in order to get the dyno in here and hooked up. And we have the paint booth in here. We got the dyno. We got the 2 lifts. This is like the freaking dream setup. And I'm pretty stoked to be here. So just need to get the right team, and so that way we can kind of start busting out some builds, because being one guy and, you know, doing all this by yourself, it's not fun. It's not really capable, you know, because like at this level, like I can't be the only guy here, you know, filming the videos. We're also talking about Charles coming down here full time, so that might help, you know, filming the videos by myself, working on the cars by myself, potentially if Garrett leaves, and or with, you know, not like a full-time employee. But Evo Wagon needs some work. R33, I basically kind of lost some momentum on that project, so I just kind of want to sell it. There's so many things, and it's easy for me to like get on Marketplace and see something simple, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool, you know, that would be an easy project. I could do that in a week because we have like a downtime or something. So I've really reverted from buying cars recently, and even I've like negotiated deals, and I'm just like, I'm great at finding deals, and then I've literally like backed out. I'm like, hey man, actually sorry, I have too many cars, sorry for wasting your time. I'm gonna stop messaging people about stuff to buy because I'm addicted. Yeah, we sold my white truck, we sold the CRV, or got rid of the CRV to Rudnick. Couple other cars have kind of left that have been in the stable that you guys don't really know about, and so yeah, just trying to kind of clean up around here, dial in the builds, focus, be, you know, like a laser beam instead of a floodlight, because I'm kind of a floodlight type of guy. Need to be a little bit more. The CRF 110 is going to a lucky VIP. We will probably do a live stream tomorrow or the next day to pick the winner of that. And if you guys have not joined our VIP program, we do specific giveaways. We do free products for our VIPs. So if there are any VIPs watching this video right now, if you guys could like give me a little review on the VIP program and kind of more so what you'd like to see. Civic winner will be announced sometime maybe by the end of the week, but probably early next week. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I need some help. I need some help figuring out what to focus on, because there's so many builds that are just in this vicinity, you know, this car, the Mustang, the art, you know, just everything. There's so much. I need to figure out what to focus on, what makes the most sense, what is going to be good for content, good for views, because obviously that's my job. And I'm kind of at the point, like, I like working on pretty much anything. It doesn't matter if I'm working on the Civic, the Mustang, another Civic, the Fox body Mustang. As long as we're working on cars and we're going to the track and I'm making videos, I'm pretty happy. If it was a Geo Metro, I would be happy working on it. Or if it was a Lamborghini, I would be happy. So don't think that like, and I'm passionate about it all. That's kind of my problem, is I like too many things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little update. I know it was a little wordy, but you know, a lot of things to get out. But I would like a little advice. And again, if you're interested in, if you're local, Southern Colorado, interested in working with me, you want to be potentially part of the team, probably not in videos for a little while, let me know. I'll put my email in the description. Appreciate you guys watching. See you later.